What? Nano Islet? Am I gonna go across a whole bunch of these here? Around the time the joke of the conversation's making it so we only got through like 2 social links as stream started. So sometime during main game kind of stuff then. Oh, it's another one of these. Until I eventually find the way to way away. Yeah, I think I'll find the way to way away and then wrap up. Because I genuinely want to go to bed. Oh, this is how I make it to that point. That I saw earlier. I gotcha. What's this? Oh, it's a thing between 3 trees. Huh? There's a strange bump on the ground. Bonk. Okay, that looks like the way to way away. Is sure what it looks like to me. Yeah, I think I just want to go to sleep. I'll get up at a decent hour so that I can hopefully do a little bit of shopping before, like, things become like a zoo. I'm sure there's a lot of people who've probably taken Friday off, so maybe it'll still be like a zoo. We'll see, but it's probably going to be, like, especially zoo-like on the actual weekend itself. So tomorrow with Friday is probably, like, the last bastion of a chance I have to go around and find some stuff. Yeah, I don't really know entirely what I'm gonna get for people. And people, like, my immediate family has asked me, like, if there's anything that I want this year. I'm like, no, not really. Like, there's not really anything that I want. I'm good. And, it's always kind of difficult finding stuff for my cousin's kiddos, because they never have a clear answer of, like, anything that they'd like. So, maybe this will be the year that I start going down the rabbit hole of just give them cash and they can figure it out, or something like that. I don't know. I'll go around. I'll see if I get hit by a bolt of brilliance or some Luigi logic. There's no clear point to save here, but it's not like I'm playing any other Switch games right now anyway, so I can just suspend it and continue next time, whether that's tomorrow or sometime later on the weekend. I'll stream a little bit of this. I'll stream some Final Fantasy 16. When it comes to Final Fantasy 16, I did look up how many main missions there are, and apparently the best order to do things in is, like, all the main missions before the final boss, and then the DLC, and then the final boss, because apparently that's the order that it happens canonically, and that's when you're able to do the DLC. I don't own the DLC yet, but it's that time of year that I assume, like, a PlayStation Winter Sale is about to start, so I looked up how many main missions there are, and I think I have one more stream until I'm at the point that I'm right before the final boss. So then I probably just won't touch the game anymore until, like, the DLC goes on sale, which maybe it already is, because I assume a PlayStation Store Winter Sale is probably about to start here soon. And then I pick it up and, like, save a few bucks, and then I stream the DLC, and then I'm ready to finish off that game. So depending on when that sale starts, maybe Final Fantasy 16 will be finished off sometime next year. Depending on when this sale starts, then maybe I'll only have, like, the one session of Final Fantasy 16 before a significant break, and then I just keep on committing to this through this weekend or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'll finish this and FF16. Maybe I'll just finish this. Maybe I won't finish either. Maybe there's just so much more padding that I'm not aware of. But, like, oh, I can't pull up the C map here, but I assume I'm almost done with this section of the world, and then I start section 5, and then it's, like, final approach. Right? Probably at this point. I don't know. But yeah. Detective Pikachu should have won Game of the Year. That's right, even if it didn't come out this year. The PlayStation Store sale. I have it on the PS5. I looked up if the PlayStation Store has a winter sale, and apparently the answer is yes. I've literally owned a PlayStation 5 for only like half a year, so, you know, it's not like I've seen it before. And my last PlayStation console before the 5 here was a PS2, so that wouldn't have had an online store. So it's not like I've seen a PlayStation Store before. Gonna say Steam sale start? Yeah, I saw that that started. I can look up online here, PlayStation Store, because if that already started, then I can, like, just go ham all the way through to beating Final Fantasy 16. Let's see here. Latest. 30th anniversary, save up to 75%. Yeah, that's just the 30th anniversary thing, Rob. So I don't think that there's a winter sale yet, but maybe it's, oh, wait. Early access for select titles for PS Plus members, holiday sale. The holiday sale button isn't clickable. Curiosity. If I look up Final Fantasy 16, because if they're about to start a sale here soon, there's no reason to buy the DLC now. I may as well get it later. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's on sale yet. Doesn't look like yet here, but maybe will be soon? I don't know, maybe I'll do a little bit more research. maybe there won't be any sale, and then I'll just pick it up at the normal price, something like that. I just figure I may as well save a few bucks if I can. So that's what I'm figuring here. That's my thought process. But yeah, so I'll do some exploring around, some shopping around tomorrow is my plan. See if I can figure stuff out for people outside of like 3D printing stuff that I've been doing. And yeah, next time we'll get to Way Away Island, probably wrap up this section of the world and start the final section. I can see myself beating this game before the new year. Like, I'm sure that these uploads are probably already, like, going into the new year at this point. But in terms of, like, me actually streaming it, I would like to finish it off before the new year, if at all possible here. So, yeah. What game even won Game of the Year? Astrobot is what won Game of the Year. I guess that's something I can briefly talk about before I wrap up the stream, because that's actually an interesting situation when Sony put in like $400+ million into Concord, thinking that this is gonna be like the next big thing and putting a lot of money into trying to make it the next big thing, because everybody wants a piece of the live service pie nowadays, because live service games are a continuous revenue stream, whereas games like this are like shortly after they come out, then there's a whole bunch of sales, but then it'll like peter down and maybe you'll get like occasional sales. Like, it's mostly like initially that you'll get like most of your sales, and then time to time thereafter, especially if you actually put your games on sale more often, that Nintendo doesn't really like to do. But live service games are like a constant continuous revenue stream, so everyone wants those. So PlayStation put a lot of money into Concord, hoping that it would be like the next big thing and be a continuous revenue stream for them. And then it had how many peak players on Steam? 600 something? Not 600,000 something, but just 600 something. And who knows what it was on PlayStation. So for a $400+ million game to have a peak player count of like 600 some on Steam alone, so including PlayStation, I'm sure it was over 1,000, but still, that's really sad. And then it getting shut down after under 2 weeks and having a shorter lifespan than a fruit fly is like, wow, that is incredibly sad. But then with Astrobot, I had never really heard of these bots before, because again, like, my last PlayStation console was a PlayStation 2. But I found out more recently that apparently, like, a lot of the PlayStation consoles have had, like, some of these built-in games that incorporate a lot of features of the console / the PlayStation controller to showcase how that works. Kind of like how Nintendo had Nintendo Land on the Wii U, that are all these mini games that showcase, like, the features of the console and cool, unique things that you can do. Like, apparently that's what Astro's Playroom is on the PlayStation 5, which I've never opened before, but I have on there. And apparently people really like the platforming segment of that and figured it could be a standalone game, and Sony was like, oh, let's make it into a standalone game, and, like, maybe people will like that, and so they made, like, a whole platformer game of Astrobot. And apparently the budget of that was, like, 50 to 75 million, somewhere around there. And that game won Game of the Year. So now Sony is probably in, like, a very interesting position and probably really evaluating, like, what their future game model should be when they put in over 400 million trying to get a piece of that live service pie, and it was just a monumental flop that surely lost them a lot of money. And then this platforming game they kind of made on the side after people liked the platforming game that was built into the PlayStation 5, and then it turned into the Game of the Year and was met with all this critical acclaim for just, like, a purely single-player experience like that. And then I am curious to see, like, where Sony is going to take things in the future. Like, is this going to make them go, huh, maybe we should make more single-player games like that people like, and more AA games like that, kind of like Nintendo does? Because Astrobot was kind of like a Nintendo-like game, where it's just like, yeah, here's a game that we put together, like, still with a lot of love and passion, but like a purely single-player experience, but not like some several $100 million massive cinematic experience like Sony likes to put out for a whole lot of their games. Just like a very down-to-earth, like, yep, here's a, like, PlayStation 2 era style platformer with, like, modern graphics and stuff, and it sounded like a lot of people that played it were, like, very nostalgic for, like, PS2 era platformers, and apparently it's really good. So maybe that'll make Sony want to adopt a little bit more of the Nintendo model of making more, if that's what you want to classify them as, AA games, where they're not, like, massive $100+ million projects, but just smaller kind of projects of, like, all sorts of different niches. because Astrobot was like a massive success for them. Though I'm sure they're not gonna give up on trying to get a piece of that live service pie, considering how lucrative that can be. So I'm sure they're not giving up on that front. But it'll be interesting to see if that will be a little bit of an indication of, hey, maybe we should make more games at this size, this style, and this budget, instead of having our only games that we really try to put out there being like the super cinematic half movie, half games kind of things like they really like to do. Like The Last of Us, like God of War, like is Horizon like that? Like Spider-Man, you know, all sorts of things that are coming out on their consoles where it's like half movie, half game. And they can be a lot of fun. I really enjoy playing Last of Us Part 1. Like, and I've heard with these other games that they're apparently really good games as well. But I think a lot of people that own a PlayStation 5 are getting tired of experiencing just the same formula over and over again. Because even if, like, a formula is really good and really fun, it'll get old and tired if that's the only thing that you repeat. So I think Astrobot was very much like a breath of fresh air for a lot of PlayStation players, being like, wow, here's a platformer in, like, the PS2 era that I'm nostalgic for, especially for, like, a lot of PlayStation owners that don't have things like a Switch to be playing things like, you know, Mario Odyssey, Mario 3D World, because Mario still puts out, like, a lot of good 3D platformers. But yeah, and from what I've seen of Astrobot, it does look like a really good game. I feel like it probably wouldn't have taken Game of the Year if there was, like, more big hitters that came out this year. Like, if something like Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, or Elden Ring or something came out this year, I don't... well, I guess there was Shadow of the Erdtree that was nominated, but was anyone taking that seriously? If one of those things had come out this year, I don't think Astrobot would have taken it. So this year was definitely a lull for gaming. Like, there was not many games that came out this year that I liked. I think the only 2 new games that came out this year that I genuinely liked were the new Mario Party and Unicorn Overlord. Like, in terms of new games, this isn't new. This is, like, I like this, but this is a remaster of an existing game. In terms of, like, brand new games, I think these are the only 2 that I genuinely liked this year, were Unicorn Overlord and Super Mario Party Jamboree. I thought these 2 games were really good. But yeah, this year's very much been a bit of a lull for gaming. Like, maybe I should have played less of the Nintendo games that were coming out this year. Maybe I should have played Astrobot. Apparently it was really good. But yeah, let's see here, get caught up here. Still don't know what the fuck that game is. Supposedly it's good. What with Astrobot there, just saw PlayStation fans trying to make PS4 out to be the best console ever. Just because it got one good game supposedly, or PS5. What, people are trying to make out the PS5 to be the best console because it got that game there. But I haven't opened it either. Just saw it one day and said, what the fuck is this? I never bought it / installed it. What, with Astro's Playroom? I think it's automatically installed. I don't know how it works. I've never tried to open it. But yeah, I don't know, just want something to justify your purchase of the PS5. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are feeling that nowadays. But yeah, everything went to third party right after you got it. Yeah, the PS5, it was really funny when it first came out, and everyone was scrambling to get it, and it was being scalped to all hell. Because everyone was like, holy crap, this is like the next generation console. It's gonna be like the next big thing. And there's gonna be like so many games for it. Let's try to get into this early and be able to enjoy it for years to come. But now we're at the phase where everyone's like, huh, what's the point of owning a PS5? Because Sony has not put out a massive ton of games for it themselves, and there's not a massive ton of exclusives. So then people are asking, like, why buy the PS5 and not just play on, like, PC or something like that? So then less PlayStation 5s are sold, and then Sony's partners, like Square Enix, for example, with the Final Fantasy games, are finding less profit than they would have otherwise liked, because less people are buying the PS5, and less people are interested in it when they're like, hey, where are the games? So then Sony is being like, hey, let's not make our games truly exclusive for the PS5 anymore. Let's make them timed exclusives, where they appear on PC sometime later. So then PC players just end up waiting, and then they get it there anyway, and then they're like, what's the point of buying the PS5 if these games aren't exclusive to there? And even a lot of Sony's own games have been timed exclusive to go to the PC, like God of War being a big one, for example, or Horizon, stuff like that. And then more people are asking, what's the point of buying the PS5? And then less consoles are getting sold, and then more companies are asking, what's the point in making exclusives for the PS5? And then it's like, it's a positive feedback loop. It keeps on snowballing to make things worse and worse for Sony. So as more and more companies think, what's the point of making games for this console anymore? Then that's further reason for more companies to think, what's the point of making games for this console anymore? And then it's a bit of a downward spiral. And I'm sure that, like, Sony's in quite a bit of a predicament. And they're probably wondering what the heck they're gonna do now in terms of their gaming business model after the whole Concord situation and then Astrobot winning Game of the Year. Like, maybe they will be like, hey, maybe we should make more AA games like Astrobot that are just, like, smaller scale kind of projects that we can pump up more of and are types of games that people genuinely like, kind of like Nintendo does with a lot of their games. And I'm sure a lot of people would really like that. And then they get out like more games more frequently and there's more games to like justify the PlayStation 5. But yeah, Sony's in a really weird place right now. Sony actually becoming a first party dev, or the studios that they publish for, whatever the heck. You know what I mean. Or just in terms of like things being truly exclusive for their consoles, you mean? Whatever the heck. It would be nice to see like more things on the PlayStation 5 here. I might start playing more things on the PS5 next year. Now that I own a PS5, I did over Boxing Day on holiday sales pick up like a decent few games from Video Games Plus that will arrive whenever they arrive. Apparently they're really backed up with holiday sale stuff. Like, one that I might end up trying out that I've been intrigued about since I've heard really good things about it is Ghost of Tsushima. And I could pick that up on PC. That's another timed exclusive where it released on PC earlier this year. But if the sequel is coming out this year anyway, and the first one was a timed exclusive for PlayStation, and I ended up really liking Ghost of Tsushima, then it wouldn't make sense for me to own that on PC and then the sequel on PS5 if I wanted to play it right away. So I figured I may as well just like buy the original on PS5. So that's what I did. And apparently it's made by Sucker Punch, which is the same studio behind the Sly Cooper games. So that's the kind of stuff that they're working on nowadays. And I actually didn't know that for a long time. So maybe I'd play that sometime in the new year. That might be fun. But yeah, let's just see here. I don't know, they didn't advertise at all what Astrobot was at all, so I was confused when I saw it one day. Yeah, I wasn't as well. Like, I don't really follow a lot of the Sony advertising stuff. I mostly follow, like, Nintendo advertising kind of stuff. So I'm not really in the loop about a lot of Sony games. But, yeah, I just kind of found out about it after it started getting, like, a lot of hubbub online. Yes, literally saw PlayStation fans trying to suck PlayStation's dick when it was coming out. It was like the console wars was back. Interesting. I made a list of all the PlayStation games I own now, most of which are coming in the mail. So I can tell you what PlayStation games I own. There's the 3 that I already owned, like that I have here physically, are Final Fantasy 16, The Last of Us Part 2, and Bloodborne. Maybe I'd start Bloodborne early in the new year. That might be kind of fun. Yeah, everyone knew about Wii Sports. I don't know if like Astrobot would ever be like Wii Sports kind of level thing. Oh, unless you're just talking about like Astro's Playroom or something like that. Because, yeah, I'd never heard about that thing in my life until I got a PS5, and even then I saw the icon, I didn't think much about it. So those were the 3 games that I got, like, before. And the games that I got on sale here recently were... I got the first couple Final Fantasy VII games that I'd be covering on the PS5. So I got Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. Once I start my Final Fantasy VII series, I'll start with 7 Original, and I'll just play it on my PC. And then I'll play 7 Crisis Core, and then I go in the order of, like, Remake, Rebirth, and then the new one whenever it comes out. So, like, I'm good on the Final Fantasy VII stuff. But yeah, I got Bloodborne and Final Fantasy 16, nice. Got the Final Fantasy VII Remake as well. Yeah, so I have Crisis Core in addition to that, or it'll be coming along the way. While it was for a good price anyway, I decided to get Last of Us Part 1. Because 1, it was a good price, and it put me over the free shipping, and 2, and 3, my goodness, numbers. I swear, the PC version of it is darn near unplayable. Like, the PC version of Last of Us Part 1, like, what an absolute joke. I could tell the game itself was good, but that version of it, what a god-awful PC port. It was darn near unplayable. It was so hard to play with all the glitches, like, holy crap. And I heard that that isn't the case on PlayStation, so I was like, you know, I may as well take this opportunity to pick it up on there, because then if I ever want to replay Last of Us Part 1 down the line, I'll do it on my PlayStation. I don't think I ever want to play it on PC ever again, honestly. I got Demon's Souls for a good price while it was on sale, since I figure if I do end up playing through all the Soulsborne games one day, then that would be one of the ones on the list, so I own Demon's Souls now. I got Ghost of Tsushima, and maybe I'll try that out next year and decide whether I really like it, and if I do, then I'll play Ghost of Yotai. And I got the first God of War game, since that was on sale for PlayStation 4. There was never a PlayStation 5 version released, I don't think, because I got it for $10 was the case. So it's like, oh, well, that's really cheap there. And I did see God of War Ragnarok for $30 at Walmart the other day. I think it was the PS4 version, not the PS5 version. maybe if I'm browsing around like Christmas shopping tomorrow and I see that for like a good price, if I see that for like $30, then it's like, oh, maybe I'll pick it up. Because now I've learned my lesson with Paper Mario the Origami King, where it's like, if I wait too long, it might get to the point where it becomes genuinely hard to find. And that kind of happened with Final Fantasy VII Remake as well. Like, Crisis Core and Rebirth are not at all hard to find right now, like, they're new enough. But Remake, when I figured, like, hey, maybe this is the time to pick up Final Fantasy VII Remake, like, since various different sellers have it on sale. I did manage to find it on Video Games Plus for a good price, but all the other sellers that I was looking at, they all had it marked down, and then nothing in stock. And same with Ghost of Tsushima. Like, basically every online seller that I found, and like local ones like GameStop, would be like, yep, it's on sale. It's sold out in every store in the city around you. And it's like, what? And it's like not available for like online selling. And it's like, oh my god, what? So I think when it comes to video games, I might need to wait like when it comes to things like Final Fantasy Rebirth being another one that I want to pick up at some point. I think that there might be like a golden window of like wait long enough that I can get it on sale for a decent price, but not wait so long that it's gonna be really, really hard to find and only like a couple sellers are still gonna have copies around, you know. And there was no copies of Paper Mario the Origami King on Video Games Plus. I looked. They had copies of Paper Jam, and I debated about ordering a copy of Paper Jam to own one, but I didn't end up doing so. But no copies of Origami King, unfortunately. So yeah, I think there might be a golden window of opportunity when it comes to getting games, like maybe 3 or 4 years after they're out, or something like that, or maybe 2 to 3 years, maybe something like that. Like a nice golden window before they start getting a bit harder to find. So maybe I'll try to keep an eye out for good prices on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth in like maybe 2 years time from now, something like that. So yeah, that's the list of all the games I own for PlayStation now. How many is that? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games I own for PlayStation now. Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 7 Remake Intergrade, Last of Us Part 1, Last of Us Part 2, Bloodborne, Demon's Souls, Ghost of Tsushima, and God of War. Those are the games I own for PlayStation now. And I think that's not a half bad small collection of PlayStation games to own. Like, I think that's a pretty good selection there, you know. But yeah, right now the only game you don't have is Ghost of Tsushima, but you know nothing about it. I honestly don't either. I just know that it was something that I heard really, really good things about for a long time. I know that the sequel is coming out of Ghost of Yotai sometime next year, and I just looked up a little bit about it, and I saw the developer was Sucker Punch, and I was like, oh, this has my loyalty. I'm interested in that now. Like, I looked up a couple trailers of it, but it was mostly cinematic trailers. I really didn't understand how the gameplay worked from looking at the trailers. But, you know, just seeing it was Sucker Punch behind it, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to see what they're up to nowadays. It has my interest. So I literally don't know how the gameplay works, but I ordered it. Maybe I'll play it next year. But yeah, let's see here. But yeah, guess you don't have God of War either, but yeah, never quite piqued your interest. That's fair. It's fairly good considering it's like 80% of the library for... What now? Sorry? When you say PlayStation, do you mean 5? Yes. Indeed, that is the console that I own here. I own a PlayStation 2 and 5, and those are the only PlayStations I own. So I was just talking about, like, the PlayStation 5 games that I own here, because I ordered a bunch on sale, so maybe I'll end up playing a lot of PlayStation games next year. That might be a fun little change of pace. Yeah, I know you're talking 90% of the PS5 library, but, like, what is? What's fairly good considering it's 90% of the library? Or you're saying, like, my games that I have? Or something there? Like what? Okay, I got you. That was the context I was missing there. Yeah, that is a lot of like the hard hitters there. Like, I think the other like big PlayStation hard hitters that I'd be missing would be like the Horizon games, the Spider-Man games, and God of War Ragnarok, in terms of like the big ones. And a lot of those are available on PC now, is the case. So like if we're talking like true exclusives, there's not really much. Like, here, before I wrap up a stream, I love how we're just rambling about this now. Again, I think I'm gonna call Mario and Luigi Brothership here in terms of progress. But let's see here. If I just look up list of PlayStation 5 exclusives, there's really not much. I think there's like 12 games or something. Category PlayStation 5 only games. Oh, there's more than I thought. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, that's more than I thought. But this one is built into the console. It's like part of the console itself, and I guess I could play it at some point. This, I'm sure, is going to be a timed exclusive because Death Stranding 1 is already on Steam, so I don't see this being a forever exclusive. Ghost of Tsushima is already on Steam, so I don't see this being a forever exclusive either. I would see this coming to PC as well. Oh, is this another Horizon game? Call of the Mountain. Oh, VR. What? There's a VR game? Oh, I thought this was like a new Horizon game that was on the horizon that I'd never heard about. Apparently it's a VR game. I had no idea this existed. 2023. Since when? 2023, apparently. Early last year. I had no idea this was a thing that existed. A spin-off of the Horizon series. Speaking of spin-offs of the Horizon series, I think it was just a few weeks ago, or was it a month ago, something like that, that Lego Horizon came out, and everyone's collective thought was, who the hell wanted this? Like, Lego Horizon? And from what I've heard, apparently it's not a terrible game, but it's just a game that nobody wanted. And so apparently it's like really flopped, because just genuinely nobody wanted it. So yeah, there's 20, but minus at least 3. At least. And maybe some of these other ones will come to a PC and stuff later as well. So, I would say at most 17 here. Like, true exclusive games for the PlayStation 5, which is really quite sad. Like, I know that there's, like, the whole arguments about, like, exclusives kind of being anti-consumer, and it being really nice to be able to play games on the platform of your preference. But you also can't deny that the exclusive games of your console are kind of what defines your console. They're like the lifeblood of your console. When you think about the console, those are the games that you should think about, you know? But if they're available on everything, then when you think about the console, then the console is just the platform that you play them on. You don't think about those games because those games no longer define the console. So while I like having these games available to play on PC, like, I do realize how shitty that is for PlayStation 5 owners, including me now, because I now own a PS5. But yeah, I still find Lego Horizon the most funny thing ever. It's kind of same, honestly. Might like Lego Mario game? Yeah, that I could potentially see. But Horizon? Yeah, it feels very odd. Like, Lego and Mario coming together, like, these are two very, very big IPs. I could see a lot of people playing that. But a Lego version of one of Sony's IPs on the side that doesn't really even define the console. It's just like, okay, who wants this? And from what I understood, like, isn't Horizon like a M-rated series? And then I guess I'd have to like tone that down to like PG-13 or like E for everyone or something like that. If I look up Horizon game series, like they're Horizon video game series, they're M-rated games and stuff, right? Post-apocalyptic United States. If I can click just Horizon Zero Dawn, can I just look up, whoops, rated? It doesn't say where it's rated here anymore. Horizon Zero Dawn, let's just say PlayStation Store, or something like that. Complete edition. Oh yeah, and there's like a remastered of this now, isn't there? On the PS5. PS4 version here. Yeah, remastered for the PS5, even though the PS5 is back compatible, so you can still play the PS4 version. So I don't really know what the point is. I guess that was the DLC. Where does it say the, rated? No, what? I don't know. I assume it's rated M. I have no idea. Oh, it says right there. It's rated T. Interesting. I would have assumed that they would have been like rated M, but I guess I'm wrong about that. I'm pretty sure the God of War games are rated M, and that definitely makes sense there. But I guess this kind of violence in this game is like you're taking down robots and stuff, right? So, blood, drug reference, language, mild sexual themes, violence. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was M. I was wrong. But I assume that Lego Horizon... Oh, if I go back to the PlayStation Store, I'm just curious. Lego Horizon. I love how I said I really wanted to go to bed, and now here I am just rambling about video games. Here we go, the full $80. Okay, yeah, everyone 10 and up. since the whole Lego thing were about fantasy violence language. That one has 1 and 2 players as a perk. Wait, there's day 1 DLC? What the hell? Digital Deluxe Edition. So you only get Lego Horizon Adventures in the Standard Edition, but with the Digital Deluxe Edition, you get roller coaster customization, the Banuk armor outfit, the Shadow Stalwart outfit, the Ratchet outfit, the Rivet outfit, the Sackboy outfit, the Alloy outfit. So it's just outfits, and you can customize. There's a roller coaster in the game, I guess, for $10 extra. Man, I gotta own the Digital Deluxe Edition of Lego Horizon Adventures, I think. Yeah, the content there. Surprising amount of 5-star ratings. Gonna be honest here. I think if you look it up on Metacritic. Lego Horizon. Lego Horizon Metacritic. You can see I've clicked on this before because I was genuinely curious. I've heard that apparently it's not a terrible game, but it doesn't really do anything special either. And a lot of people are just like, what the heck, who wanted this game? Look at all these amazing reviews. Least favorite Lego game? My kids don't like it. Too simple and childish for adults. Yeah, and that's something that I was confused about as well, is when I think of Horizon, I think about that being like an adult kind of game. Like, this is the kind of game that adults are playing. And turning that into Lego is like, okay, who is the target audience then? Because adults probably aren't going to want to be going from playing like Horizon to playing this. And kids that aren't playing like the original source material games probably aren't going to want to play this. If they want to play a Lego game, they'd play a different Lego game. So it really begs the question of who the hell is this video game for? So anyway, that's a weird thing when it comes to like some of Sony's decisions recently here. Yes, God of War is M. Okay. I can't believe I ordered a rated M game without realizing it was rated M. Oh no. Like Mario, you can see it working as it isn't rated T. Yeah, like Mario is already like a very family friendly things that like kids to adults can play. Like I could see that being a thing that could be turned into Lego and be like a super successful game. But when you're taking like a teen to adult game and turning that into like a spin-off for kids where it's like they're not playing the original source material, it's like, who's the game for? But yeah, allowing a lot of creative freedom and isn't just a rehash of another already existing game. And it could work pretty well with like the whole blocks of Mario with like the question mark blocks and the brick blocks and stuff like that. That might actually be kind of cool. I think if there was a Lego Mario game, I could see myself playing that. So just PlayStation exclusive themed outfits, I guess so. Is it available on Steam? The whole thingamabob there. You can see I was looking at this because I was curious when this came out here, and yeah, it was earlier this year, so just get the PS5 version there. Because this released on Steam immediately as well. Oh, it's on sale right now. It's not on sale on the PlayStation Store. Mixed. Yeah, so it was a little bit over a month ago. There is a Digital Deluxe Edition. Yeah, Digital Deluxe Edition. So it isn't even exclusive there. It is, yeah, it's the same thing here. Edition includes these things. So it's the same deal on Steam, apparently. But yeah. Well, yeah, former exclusive. So yeah, exclusive in terms of, like, the source material there. Almost all the retail copies of Lego games eventually drop to a standard price of $30 Canadian with possibility of sale purchase at $20. Not advantageous to buy at launch for sure. So maybe I'll get more sales later on for people recognizing that. Like, there's so much baffling about this, I just don't understand who it's targeted, for what reason it has to exist or anything. Yeah, that's what I'm very confused about. What if as I continue to play more games on the PlayStation, I just never played the Horizon games, but I one day play Lego Horizon, and then just like piss everyone off on my channel for playing that and not actual Horizon. I only play this. How funny would that be? Got all 3 Lego Marvel games in a bundle for like $20. I didn't even know that there was Lego Marvel games. It really goes to show that I don't really know a whole lot about this. See myself playing a Mario themed Lego game too? Yeah, sounds like it'd be fun. But Horizon? I mean, maybe. I just don't see why I would play over just playing Horizon, or I'd want to play it after. Yeah. Like, adults would just play Horizon, and kids would just play a different Lego game, since they have no attachment to the source material. Like, this is one of the weirdest decisions. Like, one of the weirdest games to get greenlit I've seen in gaming. Honestly, you kind of want to play Lego Horizon just to understand anything about this? Yeah, I better play Lego Horizon. This is what the next playthrough on the channel better be. Hovering over Fallout New Vegas there. Yeah. Anyway. There's that. It's 11:44. I'm gonna get some sleep here, I think. Is what I think I'm going to do. I'll play some more of this, or maybe I'll just stop playing Mario and Luigi Brothership forever, and instead this is now gonna become a Lego Horizon channel. And everyone is gonna love it, because everyone's favorite video game that they've been waiting for the past 200 years is Lego Horizon, and everyone's gonna be so excited. And it'll be my Christmas gift to all the viewers of the channel that have just been like waiting on the edge of their seats for me to finally play Lego Horizon. I'm gonna play it on Christmas Day, and everyone's gonna be like, "Whoa, he's playing the game! It's Lego Horizon! Aw, man, I'm gonna give him all my money now." Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed now. So, appreciate everybody that tuned into another stream of Mario and Luigi Padding Simulator. And yeah, next time we're gonna go get like a bunch of berries and stuff, I guess. So yeah, but for now, I want to go sleep. Looking forward to playing Lego Horizon now. Yup, it's gonna be great, isn't it?